When I got my first salary, I didn't think I need a financial plan. I thought, finally I can breathe. Rent paid, Swiggy guilt-free, weekend plans without checking my balance 10 times. Life felt sorted. And honestly, that's how most people in their 20s think about money. Not because we are irresponsible, but because nothing wrong has happened yet. But here's something I learned a little late. Most financial mistakes don't feel like mistakes when you are making them. They feel normal, logical, even deserved. And that's why they are dangerous. In fact, a recent report showed that about 55% of Gen Zs in India is living paycheck to paycheck. Even though this is the most financially aware generation so far, investing early, tracking markets, talking about money openly, that number stayed with me because it made me think very clear. Knowledge isn't the problem. Habits are. This video isn't about cutting coffee or becoming boring with money. It's about quiet money decisions we make in our 20s. The ones that don't hurt today but quietly shape the next 10 to 15 years of our life. If you are in your 20s, this isn't an advice, it's perspective. The kind I wish someone had given me earlier. So the mistake number one that you need to avoid is confusing cash flow with wealth. One of the first financial illusions most of us fall into is confusing a regular salary with financial security. Money comes in every month, expenses get paid, and as long as nothing breaks, it feels like stability. Your brain quietly concludes that you are doing fine. But salary is not wealth. Salary is just permission to start building wealth. Let's take a simple example. Person A earns 40,000 a month and saves nothing. Person B earns 25,000 a month and saves 5,000 consistently. After 1 year, person A obviously has nothing. Person B has saved 60,000 plus the returns. After 5 years, person B has something far more valuable than money. Options. The ability to quit job, fund a course, or survive a bad phase. Person A is still dependent on the next salary credit. The mistake here isn't low income. It's believing income alone will protect you. Cash flow keeps life running month to month. Wealth gives you leverage when life doesn't go as planned. What changed things for me was mentally separating money the moment it came in. Money I lived on and the money I build wealth with. Even a 2,000 rupee a month invested is not about returns. It's about teaching your brain that not all money is meant to be consumed. Now, let's talk about mistake number 2. Lifestyle decision before life clarity. People don't overspend in their 20s because they are careless. They overspend because they design a lifestyle before understanding their future responsibilities. A rented apartment that eats 45% of your income. A car EMI because everyone in office has one. Weekend spending that assumes income will always rise smoothly. The real danger here isn't the enjoyment. It's the fixed cost. Let's say you earn 60,000 a month, rent is 18k, EMIs 12k, subscriptions and bills add another 8k. Before you have even lived, over 60% of your income is locked. From that point on, every career decision is made under pressure. You don't choose what's best, you choose what feels safest. What helped me rethink this was realizing that in your 20s, your biggest financial asset isn't income, it's adaptability. Keep fixed costs low and variable costs flexible. Delay permanent upgrades as temporary discomfort buys long-term freedom. Mistake 3 is ignoring risk because nothing has gone wrong yet. When you are young, risk feels theoretical. You are healthy, single, mobile, and optimistic. Insurance feels unnecessary, emergency fund feels excessive, planning for worst-case scenario feels pessimistic. But risk doesn't announce itself. A medical emergency, a sudden job loss, a family obligation, one event is enough to erase years of disciplined saving. A 5 lakh hospital bill without insurance doesn't just hurt. It can wipe out 3 to 4 years of SIP returns in one shot. What I eventually understood is that protection isn't pessimism. It's respect for efforts. Health insurance, if your employer provides one, and an emergency fund covering months of expense doesn't slow your wealth creation. They make sure one bad event doesn't undo everything else. Mistake 4 is thinking financial education can wait. A very common belief in your 20s is, I'll learn all this later when I earn more. It sounds reasonable. It's also completely backwards. Your 20s aren't for maximizing returns. They are for minimizing ignorance. Making a wrong decision with 10,000 rupees teaches you a lesson. Making the same mistake with 10 lakh rupees creates regret. I have realized that learning early isn't about being perfect. It's about being clumsy when it's cheap. Understanding mutual fund, taxes, asset allocation, and how compounding actually works now prepares you for much bigger decisions later. Using your 20s as a low-cost learning phase quietly compounds confidence long before money starts compounding. Mistake 5. Using debt to smooth emotions. Debt in your 20s rarely starts with irresponsibility. It starts with convenience. Swipe now, pay later, enjoy now, worry later. The real issue isn't just interest rates, it's behavioral. When pleasure is immediate and pain is delayed, your brain slowly disconnects effort from reward. Habits form quietly. A 50,000 credit card bill at 36% interest rate isn't just expensive, it steals future choices. The rule that finally made sense to me was simple. Use debt only if it clearly improves your future earning ability, education certifications, or tools that increase productivity. Everything else should come from earned money. If you can't afford it twice, you probably can't afford it once. Mistake number 6 is over-optimism about future income. People in their 20s assume income will always rise, promotions will come, switches will happen, life will stay linear. But do you know reality is messier? Careers plateau, industries change, health intervenes, family needs emerge. If your current lifestyle depends on your future income growth, you're borrowing optimism. And borrowed optimism collapses quickly when reality shifts. What changed my approach was basing my lifestyle on what I earn today and not what I expect tomorrow. Next mistake is about chasing returns instead of building systems. Young investors often obsess over best funds, hot stocks, and highest returns. Compare this. Person X invested 5,000 a month consistently at 10% for 30 years and ends up with roughly 1.13 crores. Person Y invested 10,000 a month but keeps stopping and starting, often ending up with far less. What actually builds wealth isn't excitement. It's boring systems followed patiently. Automatic SIPs, periodic reviews, clear asset allocation. None of this is impressive, but it works. Mistake 8 is neglecting taxes because income is low. When income is low, taxes feel irrelevant, but most tax losses happen later. Not because taxes increase, but because people never learned how the system actually works. Not understanding tax brackets, exemptions, capital gains, or regime choices leads to avoidable mistakes years down the line. Even if you pay zero tax today, learning how taxation works early acts like future income insurance. It gives you control when numbers start getting bigger. Mistake number 9 is about underestimating the power of time. Time is the most misunderstood advantage people in their 20s have. Starting early doesn't feel powerful because results don't show immediately. If you invest 5,000 a month from age 25 to 60 at 12%, you invest 21 lakhs and end up with around 3.5 crores. Start 10 years later and despite investing more each month, you will still end up with far less. The difference is not about money, it is about time. Starting small now and increasing later lets compounding do the heavy lifting. And lastly, mistake number 10, never defining what enough means. The most dangerous mistake all of us make is never deciding what financial success actually looks like. Without a definition of enough, income increases don't bring peace. They create escalation. You earn more, spend more, save more, and still feel uneasy. What helped me was defining personal milestones. A freedom fund, a stress-free monthly number, an age where work becomes optional. Once money has direction, it stops feeling noisy. Bringing it all together, your 20s are not about perfection. They are about positioning. You don't need the best portfolio. You need the right habits. You don't need high income. You need high awareness. You don't need to sacrifice on your joy, but you need to avoid silent traps. Most people don't fail financially because of one big mistake. They fail because of 10 small ones repeatedly, quietly for over a decade. I hope you like this video. See you in the next one. Until then, happy investing.